everything in your life is your responsibility. The moment you stop blaming and owning everything instead of blaming others, making excuses, then that's the moment that you take back control. Welcome to the Middle-Aged and Miserable podcast.
And please subscribe so you never miss another episode. And if you really like this content, please leave us a lovely review because it really helps us reach new people with this. Thank you.
All right, Pat.
All right, Chris.
If you're middle-aged and miserable and you want to break out of that, this episode is all about 7 hacks that will help you succeed in anything you do.
I love it.
All right. Should we jump straight in?
You want to do the first one?
Yep. Number 1, vision.
Go on then.
If you want to be successful, then you've got to have a clear vision, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Of what success looks like for you. And that doesn't matter, it could be any kind of success. It could be professional success, it could be business success, it
relationships.
Could be relationships, it could be anything. Right, just go ask yourself, what do you want? And
I don't suppose too many people actually do that. What do you really want?
That's a good point, because a lot of people have this attitude of life happens to me and not I create my life, right?
Right.
So you got to decide what you want, haven't you? And then get specific with it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just sort of say, I want to be rich. Or I want more money. We said this before. I want more money. Like you could find a penny on the floor.
Specific, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you want? When do you want it?
Right.
And what does it look like for you?
You've got to, I think it's important to put a timeline to it as well, actually.
Yeah.
It makes it real at that point. It turns it into a goal rather than a dream, doesn't it, really, at that point?
Yeah. And the way I look at it is you have a vision for your life, and then you have goals that get you to your vision, like stepping stones. But you got to write it down. I think you got to have your vision.
Without a doubt.
You got to think about it. You got to think it through, and you got to write it down. Otherwise, it's not really a vision, is it? It's kind of a dream.
Well, you've got to be reminded of it, like daily, at least. So if you've not written it down, it's just a passing thought, isn't it? It's more of a dream. You've got to write it down, or print photographs of it, and make it. Have something to remind you of it every day.
Yeah. Yes, because your overarching vision for your life is going to give you your direction and more clarity, isn't it? It's going to it's going to give you a reason to push through when things get tough, which they will. Yeah.
It's essentially the why we get up in the morning. What gets you out of bed is I've got this thing to do, and on the days when you really don't want to do it, I'm working towards my vision. And that's really, really important. That's almost like the first thing we should do when we've got lofty goals.
Yeah. So if you essentially
go somewhere.
Yeah. So if you don't have a vision, you're just drifting. So get clear on it. Write it down. Focus on it daily.
Absolutely. Let me do this. I got another one.
Go on.
Right. Number 2.
Yeah.
Personal growth. It kind of goes to kind of what we're saying with vision. To have something you're aiming for. Personal growth. I think I find that really fulfilling, actually, to be the kind of person that is constantly wanting to learn new things to grow, and it's to be successful. It's not something that you are doing, that you're chasing. You've got to become a person capable of achieving success, the success that you want. Your vision is great. Yeah, you go work towards it, but you've got to change who you are. You've got to grow into the person that deserves that vision.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, so how do you do that? Well, first thing first is you've got to learn. You've got to learn new things. You've got to read books. You've got to take courses, which is what we've done. Listen to fantastic podcasts like this one, in fact, really.
Well, the great thing about that is there is so much that's free.
Yeah,
you don't even have to pay for it. Like in the old days, you probably had to buy some tape set or CD set or go to a seminar. It's all free now, isn't it?
And it's everywhere.
Yeah.
There's help everywhere. You surround yourself with people that are more successful than you, that inspire you. Every skill you develop, every lesson that you learn and habit, it builds you up and it moves you closer to your goals. So I would like to say, if you're not growing, you're declining. And I've made this analogy countless times on this podcast in the past, but it's basically life is a downward moving escalator that we're all moving up on. And if you stop, if you're not growing, then you're sliding back down. Actually. Yeah. And there's no top. You've just got to keep moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
All right, what's hack 3 then?
You want this one?
Yeah. So hack 3 to succeed in anything is getting out of your comfort zone. Because your comfort zone,
it's very comfortable.
Yeah. And your comfort zone is where dreams go to die, aren't they?
Oh,
Pat?
God, yeah.
So success requires risk and challenge, and stepping into the unknown is really uncomfortable and really horrible sometimes. But you got to do it, and your brain is going to resist. It's wired to keep you safe
and comfortable.
But unfortunately, safety is not success oftentimes. I mean, it can be, but if you really want to push and get something great, you got to push outside your comfort zone.
Yeah,
So, for example, if you're terrified of, if public speaking terrifies you, you can start by just talking in front of a small group, and as the discomfort fades, the skill grows, and as you grow that comfort zone, then an area that previously wasn't comfortable to you becomes comfortable.
Yeah, that's true, and you got to keep pushing outside that as well.
Yeah.
It's a fact. It does work actually, and it builds that self-confidence.
Definitely, yeah.
It really does. All right, I got one.
Okay.
Assess your limiting beliefs. So looking at your past results, basically, this is kind of a esoteric one in a way. So your past results are a reflection of your beliefs. You are here today, wherever you are today, because you believe that's where you need to be, whether you like it or whether you don't like it or not. So the fact is, most of our limiting beliefs that we believe in our core were formed in our childhood and further reinforced over the years because we look for evidence that reinforces those beliefs. So you've got to question everything. And I like to do that a lot. I try and teach my kids that everything, whatever happens, you just got to ask yourself, why is that happening? Question everything. Try question your own beliefs about what you believe in yourself, and you question your story. That's another one.
Yeah.
What you tell yourself. Question your own thoughts. No, I don't think anybody's actually doing this. And your actions. Question your actions and your feelings. So let me help put that into context with an example. If you say to yourself, I'm just not very good with money, you believe that to be true because you've decided it's true based on previous examples of you not being good with money. And that belief, to be true, and it will sabotage you. So you've got to challenge it. Yeah. You've got to go back and ask yourself, why do I believe that I'm not good with money? Of those events that occurred, did I just simply make a mistake? Can I do better next time? Are the lessons I've learned from it? Can I change that belief? Rewriting your beliefs like that, being introspective about your own core beliefs will support your success. And instead of that, just say, look, you could change that belief to, I'm capable of learning and mastering money management.
That's much more empowering.
How about that one?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one. We've got a podcast on that anyway for more information.
All right. So that was a good one. So that was assessing your limiting beliefs, right? And looking at your past results.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Okay.
For success in anything, focus.
Right.
What you focus on expands. If you focus on your problems, you're going to get more problems.
Right.
You're going to find more problems. If you focus on solutions, you get more solutions. So, success requires laser focus on the things that matter.
Right.
So if you want to start a business or something or create success in that way, don't focus your hours on social media.
Really? Imagine that.
Instead, focus on learning, planning, and executing this business plan.
Yeah.
We get distracted and we lose focus.
Especially
and we
more so these days, don't we?
Yeah, maybe we watch too much news. Maybe we, it's kind of a form of procrastination, isn't it? If you've decided, like we said earlier, if you've got a vision that you want to do something, whatever that may be,
right,
then you've got to focus on that, on taking the steps towards that vision. And any moment that you're off scrolling through your phone or whatever, then you're not doing the things you need to do to reach your goals and your ultimate vision.
Yeah.
So you got to constantly ask yourself, am I focusing on the things that are moving me forward towards what I want?
Yeah, totally.
And if you're not, if you find yourself not doing that, shift your focus.
It's a habit you've got to form, isn't it? Almost that little alarm bell that's ringing when you find yourself you've veered off in concentration, which I'm sure we all do. To
I think the trouble is a lot of these are linked, right? Because you might have a vision and a goal,
right,
and you don't want to do it. You don't want to get out of your comfort zone, right?
That's true,
so you
actually.
shift your focus from this horrible phone call I got to make to let me just scroll through social media for a bit.
There you go, because you've got limiting belief that you're not very good at this.
Okay, it's all coming together. What's number 6?
It brings me to number 6, which is your peer group. And I'd kind of touched on that a little bit earlier, is you are basically the average of, I think it's the 5 closest people to you, the people that you spend the most time with. You eventually become the average of those people, and we've all got to ask ourselves: are those 5 people? Do they lift you up, or are they holding you back? And because if there are negative people within that very, very close, influential peer group of yours, they'll drain your energy. We've all met people, haven't we, that you spend some time with and you come away, you think, I think I need to go to bed now. I'm exhausted. They just sucked all the life out of the room, really. And those are the people that do, in fact, drain your energy and your enthusiasm, and they keep you stuck. So you've got to surround yourself with people who challenge you, who inspire you, who make you want to become a better person, because you're like, oh, well, he did that. I want to do that. I want to try that. And people that encourage you, and not only that, but expect you to do great things as well. They're the people that you want to hang around with. I mean, because if you don't have successful people around you, then you're likely not going to be very successful. And there's ways around that. There's ways, like, if you, okay, well, I don't know any successful people. I don't have men around me or women around me that inspire me, but you can do it virtually as well. We've got a couple of little hacks that we talk about. Like, if you listen to, again, another plug for this podcast, fantastic podcasts, you get to hang around with Pat and Chris.
Yeah, you kind of hang around
for
with
20
them,
minutes.
so to speak.
So that's it. You're taking that in. You're taking the stuff that we have to offer. You're taking it. I do it. I listen to podcasts and books all the time that I get inspiration from.
Yeah, I liken it to if you did your commute to work or whatever,
right,
and you sat next to your buddy that's complaining about everything in life, or if you put on a empowering podcast like ours, teaching you some stuff, lifting you up, motivating you. What's better for your long-term success?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, there, your environment shapes who you are and who you become. So you have to choose it wisely.
Yeah, you have to choose who you're hanging around with very wisely.
Right.
Number 7. This is the last one.
All right.
Take responsibility.
Absolutely.
We talked about this before.
This is huge.
Pat, but everything in your life is your responsibility. It's the moment you stop blaming and owning everything instead of blaming others, making excuses, then that's the moment that you take back control.
Yeah.
You can't have the victim mindset. You know, things are conspiring against me, and
it's easy though, isn't it?
It's easy to say that. It's easy to come up with excuses.
Wasn't my fault.
Yeah. So, you know, if your finances are a mess or something like that, don't blame the economy. Own it. Learn.
Yeah.
Take action.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like you've got to take extreme responsibility.
You do.
Also, like in any walk of life, when you hear someone say, listen, this is on me, I'm going to do better to change that. There's always I always like hearing that, don't you?
Yeah. And when you do own it like that, you're empowered to change it then. Because if you say, okay, well, I can do something about this. This was my fault. You can then change it.
Yeah.
You can make that better.
Yeah.
Because if you're a victim, say, well, that was not my fault. That happened to me. You're basically not empowered then to do anything about it. You're saying it's out of my control. This thing happened.
There's nothing you can do about it.
That's not true.
Yeah. So if anything, the message should be extreme responsibility leads to extreme success. You've just got to take responsibility for everything.
Without a doubt. All right. That was good.
7 hacks, right?
Yeah.
Let's summarize them then.
All right. Vision. Get clear. You did that one, but it doesn't matter. A vision. Get clear on what you want and write it down.
Yeah. Personal growth. You must grow into the person who can achieve success.
Get out of your comfort zone. Nobody wants to, but we all should.
Yeah. And then look at your past results and your your limiting beliefs.
Limiting beliefs, yeah.
You know, your
that's right,
past is shaped by your beliefs,
Yeah,
and start questioning them and change them if you can.
Focus on the right things, not the wrong things.
Yeah. What do you hang around with? Who's your peer group?
That's right.
You know, are you surrounding yourself with empowering people, or are you surrounding yourself with people that keep you stuck?
Yeah.
Choose wisely.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, everything is your fault. Take responsibility. Your own life, no excuses. Don't be a victim. Don't blame. Just do the right thing. Take action.
Yeah, just go ahead and implement these 7 hacks and you're going to see massive changes because success is a choice. So go through all of these 7 things and choose wisely.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you heard, please like and subscribe so you never miss another episode. Also, check out our social media content for more ways to avoid being middle-aged and miserable.